Okay, well, we've got a lot going on all of a sudden. We've got a confirmed tornado, at least if you look at a chaser that's out of the BLACKSBURG, Montgomery County area. You can see a well-defined hook here. This is near Vicker and Walton as you approach just the outskirts of Radford City. This is a tornado warning that's in effect until 7:15 p.m. You need to take cover right now in that area of Montgomery County. That includes Blacksburg, Merrimack. It does not include Christiansburg, but it's going to go just to the north of Christiansburg on 460. This is a confirmed, it says radar indicated, but let me show you something. This is going around on Twitter. All the meteorologists are posting it, so we're going to show it to you here. That's from Justin Bachenzi. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but he's got video here. This is from Montgomery County, and what you are looking at is the developing tornado that's rotating. You can see a couple of funnel clouds there, individual vortices. This was posted about 10 or 15 minutes ago. I'm going to continue to kind of loop this here while I read to you the text of the tornado warning here. Let's pause it right there. National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for the city of Radford, southwestern Montgomery County, and Blacksburg until 7:15. At 6:38 p.m. a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. There you see it. Moving north at 20 miles per hour. Blacksburg, Christiansburg, Radford on the west side. Radford, you're on the west side of that, but that's coming up toward Merrimack and Walton here very, very soon. Let me show that again. You can see the rotation there past the trees. It's very low to the ground. These are going to pop up throughout the night and be very hard to detect. But that's it. That's a tornado. And it doesn't have to be tremendously strong to, or very obvious like the ones you see in the Midwest to cause a tornado warning. We've got it now reported here. That's why you see it in a purple polygon. So this is an official, Radford's now out of the warning, but this is an official tornado confirmed by not only radar, but now it's confirmed, observed by the spotter there. So they've gotten the tweet at the Blacksburg Weather Service office. We're going to zoom in here, and you can see the hook echo is right there. Merrimack, you need to be taking shelter in a safe place away from windows, lowest floor of a solid structure very soon. That may be a debris ball. Let's look at the correlation coefficient with this on the right. And we've got a bit of a lowering there. So once this thing gets organized enough, it could be producing, let's see, let's put a marker. We'll put a marker on that. Yeah, that's a debris ball. That's debris being picked up by the radar. This is a confirmed tornado in the New River Valley. Folks, I just put this out not too long ago. You do not need flat land to produce tornadoes. If a storm is strong enough, it'll do it in the mountains. And actually, this part of Montgomery County is fairly flat once you get above the ridge. So we're looking at that observed until 7:15. It's moving north at 20 miles per hour. There are different ways I can show you this, but that right there was the most concerning, right where the dot was on the last radar scan, which is on right now. You can see where we've got this cranberry color that goes to yellow. That is debris. So this is, let's see what road this is approaching. That is approaching, I don't know if I can get it to pop up there. It's approaching Merrimack, but what is this? It's going to be just off the screen. 114 is what that is, 114. So it's probably right near 114. And again, this is moving north at 20, and this is a weather-aware area. It'll be interesting to see if the National Weather Service in Blacksburg has to shelter from this, because this is a debris ball. This is not just a hook echo. Now we've got a new scan in, and we've got more debris being picked up, folks. This is on the ground. Tornado is on the ground in Montgomery County. We're going to put a marker right here. We're going to show you the velocity. And you can see with the radar being off to the southeast of the picture, you are seeing some spin. This is going away from the radar. This is going toward the radar. This is observed near Walton or near Christiansburg, moving north at 20 miles per hour. You are in very severe danger around Merrimack in the Blacksburg area on 460 here and north of 114 or right along 114. You need to be in your safe place right away as this continues to move in. I'm going to show you a different vantage point here. We're going to hide these alerts. I'm going to put on just the polygons of, let's see, put all tornado polygons on here. So we're going to zoom into this area so you can see that it is indeed an observed tornado. So you see Radford is no longer in the tornado warning. It's just to the east of you, but there it is, 114. That's the route the circulation is crossing. And as this continues to move north toward the Merrimack and Blacksburg area, you're going to see this polygon update. It will shrink in coverage and then it'll be expanded through. And I want to just emphasize 460, business 460, Blacksburg, just on the north end of Christiansburg. So that's Christiansburg there as you exit the mall and go on that strip there where the speed limit increases a bit going toward Blacksburg. That's where you run into the polygon. So Christiansburg folks can probably see this to the north. Now, once again, I want to pop up our video that we have on Twitter from a storm chaser. And this is on the ground at the moment. It's on the ground right now, we can tell from radar, but this was as it was developing in Montgomery County. You can see multiple vortices. There's one about right there, and they're circulating around each other. What happens, they will start to converge and form the actual tornado. But that was the very beginnings of it. And, you almost could miss it and not really see it if you didn't know what you were looking at. This is a spotter that knows what he's looking at. Justin is, and he's a meteorology major, I believe, and you can see that cloud lowering. Doesn't necessarily have to look like that stovepipe column that you see on a lot of spotter reports around here in the southeast. You can get them very, very low to the ground. Belmont Estates, you were in the path of this. It's very close to Vicar Heights. You were in the updraft part of this. Let's see if I can put on some more roads here. And yeah, we'll put on some state roads, make it a little easier to see here as well. It's going to close. Fortunately, this is a heavily populated area. Belmont Estates, Karma Heights. There's a lot of, of course, Virginia Tech is in the Blacksburg area. It's a college town. There are a lot of apartment complexes and townhomes in the area of Blacksburg and in around Christiansburg as well, and in between. As well. A lot of little shops. It's a lovely area, but this is on the ground. Hopefully it stays more rural than populated, but we do have a number of not only mobile homes, but just fairly well-built apartment complexes and where college kids are staying now that we're into that season. So if you're on the Virginia Tech campus, you need to be sheltering right now away from windows into a hallway, or you need to get into an interior room away from windows and where your wall is not facing the outside. A bathroom usually does good on the lowest level possible that you can get in. I imagine the sirens and the alerts are going off on the Virginia Tech campus as well. And it'll be interesting to see if the National Weather Service is right there on Forecast Drive on the Tech campus. It isn't close to them just yet, but this is moving north at 20 miles per hour. They are in the polygon, so they may have to hand things off to the National Weather Service in Charleston, West Virginia for the remainder of this warning if it continues nearing the Blacksburg area. Strubble's Mill, Price's Fork is, you're in the downdraft part of this, not the rotating part, but you're still in the polygon. You're probably seeing some hail and some gusty winds on the colder side of this system as it continues to kind of wrap up here. And you can see the control as I move it back in time. Clearly it's a hook. And again, we had that video coming in from the Twitter spotter there that showed it as well. Okay, it's going back and now it's trying to animate. I got a lot of windows open here. There's a latest look at it as it's approaching Blacksburg. This clear area here, let me go back up. This clear area here, this is about as impressive as a hook you're going to see for this area. This is the inflow region here. Let me get my telestrator open real fast here. That's the debris ball looks like it just missed Belmont Estates, but it's going to come very close to Merrimack. And now the Storm Prediction Center is going to put out a 40% chance of issuing a tornado watch for our area due to everything that's going on. We had a possible tornado earlier in Carroll County. Looks like a cloud lowering was sighted there, enough rotation to kind of get something going. And now we've got the confirmed tornado, which we've seen more of that here, but if you grew up in this area, you know it's not something that we're really used to seeing, especially beyond radar indicated. Beyond radar indicated is something we normally don't see a lot of. So let's see. I'm going to read you the latest text of this. Damaging tornado. Radar confirms moving northeast at 20 miles per hour. The actual circulation is over Merrimack now. This will update very soon. And let me show you what's going on in the supercell thunderstorm. You've got wind this is your updraft that's blowing into the circulation like that. You've got a downdraft, a rear flank downdraft that's coming in behind this, and so the whole storm is rotating, but your actual tornado is right in the middle here, right where you see that ball there. That's where the tornado is. So I'll draw it kind of crudely there. It's moving off to the northeast at 20 miles per hour. That means it's going to hit Blacksburg and go just close to the Merrimack area. This radar is a little bit delayed. Mount Tabor Village, Bennett's Mill, all the apartment complexes, Fox Ridge, I believe, around the Blacksburg area is just one of them. You need to be getting into the safest part of the your apartment in a closet or a bathroom, because this thing is wrapped up tight. That's a confirmed tornado on the ground. It's going to be nearing 460 very closely. In the near future here, we're probably going to be looking at a traffic issue there. And as a matter of fact, let me go to something here. Let me get rid of this. Go back to my pointer. We've got traffic cameras up in that area, so let's see what I can see from this area. Okay, that is a live traffic camera on 460. I don't see anything. I don't think they're watching the sky there. I don't see anything that would help us. 460 eastbound Arbor Drive, trying to look at that. Looks like it's just blacked out. They may have lost power at that particular camera. Don't see a wall cloud. I don't see anything there, but there is a tornado. I kind of wish Montgomery County, or not Montgomery County, VDOT would be showing a little bit. I know they have to watch the roads, but I'm worried about 460, this thing crossing 460. And I wish that camera would load for me. It's hard to see anything there. Okay, let's go back to our radar, and there's your debris ball. There's your confirmed tornado. And again, it's getting very close to Blacksburg. This is about as impressive a radar signature as you are going to see in this area. This is serious, more serious than a heart attack, to be honest with you, weather-wise. It's approaching the Merrimack area. It's just probably passing North Merrimack. I'm going to put a marker on it again. Your velocity still looks very impressive. Those bright greens and the bright reds are right next to each other. That's a pretty tight couplet. New radar scan has come in. So this is 460, I believe. Yeah, it's 460. The bypass is on the right. Business is on the. This is bypass on the left. I'm sorry. Business on the right. I'll put our marker here, and it's right near 460 now. Very close to that traffic camera. Our winds are blowing in from the east in advance of this, and the inflow part of this storm, Blacksburg. If you're in Blacksburg, get in the basement. If you're in the trailer, you need to get out of the trailer, believe it or not. It's safer to get into a ditch and cover your head. New scans coming in. It's about to cross 460 right now. You can see how fast they've got that radar moving really fast at the Weather Service, so we can get these images on here for you just as fast as possible. But this is coming right in to the Blacksburg area. Here's a 3D view of it. just kind of the overall polygon, and you can see how it wrapped up there. There's the current image. So you can definitely see the hook, and you can see how that polygon goes right into the BLACKSBURG area. There's your velocity. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to see the rotation there. We'll put that in motion for you too. And you can see how that quickly spun up. And once it got going, it was only a matter of time with all that wind shear that I've been watching. I had a few days ago, I told you tornadoes would be possible, and unfortunately it's coming to fruition. This is we're at least going to have one tornado to confirm. We've already got the confirmation. That's a supercell. That's a very dangerous storm. That's a confirmed tornado. Let's go back to our correlation coefficient on the right, see if I see any debris. We did have debris a couple of scans ago lofted into the air. You may see that diminish at times and then come back, but that's the potential tornado right there over 460. Let me see if I've got anything on our webcams here. I can see traffic. This is so concerning. You have traffic moving, I believe, north and south on 460. Let's go up here and see if we can see anything on this traffic camera. It's like I'm seeing a cloud base looking north, but I don't see a tornado. It may have lifted temporarily too. It may have lifted temporarily. But Virginia Tech, you're in the line of this. I'm going to read the latest tornado warning. They keep updating this. So they've got it over Merrimack, Christiansburg, BLACKSBURG. Christiansburg, you're okay, I believe now. It's just exiting Christiansburg, but I don't see anything. There might be something there. It's hard to tell. There might be a funnel right there. See right there? That may be it. Yeah, definitely a hook echo here, and one of the more serious storms that I've ever covered, especially for this area. I didn't want to tell everybody that you would have the potential for a tornado, especially when we don't know exactly where they're going to form. But honestly, a lot of times we have all areas included, and this is why. But this is the polygon here that you can see. It still includes the BLACKSBURG area. That tornado is on the ground now. We're going to put our radar data on here. There's the hook echo as it nears the BLACKSBURG area. I'm going to take the smoothing off so we'll see the raw data as it's coming in. It's crossing 460. Now it's about to go right into BLACKSBURG. Right into BLACKSBURG. Now, I don't see a lot of debris on the radar at the moment. That does not mean that can't change. You go back and look on here. Getting a new scan in. So wait for that before we change over. So the old radar image that's flashing, we're waiting the new data. Very, very close to BLACKSBURG. Nothing jumping out at me debris-wise, but I could be wrong. Sometimes radars miss the scans in between. Don't see anything on that webcam now. Let me go back to the other one. Do see a darkening on the left side of the screen now on this particular webcam. And still can't get that one to load. Now can I go in tighter? Virginia. We have a confirmed tornado heading right into BLACKSBURG. So there's BLACKSBURG, Clay Street in the path of this. Downtown BLACKSBURG's in the path of this. I mean, it's right over BLACKSBURG. There's your hook echo. I mean, it doesn't get as clear as that. The orchard in the path of this. BLACKSBURG is the main concern right now, is BLACKSBURG proper. Our new polygon now just includes Blacksburg, as you see there. Looking at these reports too, at a gust of 12 miles per hour, nothing too great there out of the east-northeast. Not sure the updating frequency of this. Let me go back to chat here on this computer. Train spotter reports tornado at 6:40 p.m. Tornado, this is the video that you saw, formed in a field just south of I-81 and crossed in front of them, exit 108 on 81. So this crossed Interstate 81 at exit 108. We don't have any reports of damage as it was developing, but it was forming, so maybe that spared some folks on 81 in Montgomery County, 2 miles north-northeast at Childress. It was between Tyler Road and Mud Pike. That was about half an hour ago now. But we still do have the circulation, very strong circulation, over Blacksburg. So if there is a tornado, it's near the Tech campus. It's right there on the right there in the Blacksburg area. That's the worst place you could have it in Montgomery County, because that's where most of the people are. And I don't know if, I haven't heard from the Weather Service if they are sheltering or not. They're still putting out statements that say Blacksburg, Virginia in the statement. So that means that the Charleston office has not taken over just yet. And there may be enough to kind of zoom in and see exactly where their office is. Reported tornado, confirmed tornado. Let's go back to that video. I can't show this enough. This was as it was developing just south of I-81. It later crossed Interstate 81. It's in a field there. You see there's no mountains around exactly. You know, you're already in the NRV. You're already in the valley. So in some spots here, you know, you can still get tornadoes to spin up, and mountains do not protect you from tornadoes when the wind shear is this high. This was rotating. There were several vortices that wrapped around each other, forming a fairly formidable storm. You know, not just a small tornado. It's pretty low to the ground, but these things can develop, and we've had, you know, in the recent years, we've had EF2s and EF3s in this area. So now I'm looking at another traffic camera out of Montgomery County. Don't really see anything other than a tail cloud on this particular camera. I'm looking at all of them here to see if I can see any damage or if I can see anything worth reporting to you. Let's go in tighter here. Maybe some more cameras. We can see that in the Blacksburg area, the traffic has slowed to a crawl right there where that circulation moved over. We've got a new tornado now. This new warning is for a radar indicated tornado. So you're going to see that pop up here in just a second. Let me do this. Go over here. There's your new polygon right there. So that's still a tornado warning. It's still serious because this one was confirmed. We didn't have any confirmed reports coming out of this when it moved closer to Blacksburg, thank goodness. But our local storm report comes up in this icon right here where we had our tornado cross over I-81. And just to show you, now if you're north of Blacksburg now, north and east of Blacksburg, that also goes into southwest Craig County. You are still in the tornado warning. Now it's in effect for Craig County, Montgomery County until 7:45. Tornado was located over Blacksburg, or a storm, the mesocyclone, the spin, was over Blacksburg. That was at the time at 7:11, about 2 minutes ago. Sinking Creek, Huffman, Maggie, Simmonsville, and McDonald's Mill and Abbott in the path of this. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room in Craig County and in northeast Montgomery County, from Blacksburg north and east to the line there. As this continues to spin, we'll be able to pick it up on radar, but we will also be able to continue. Standby. Okay, somebody just spoke to a student on a Virginia Tech campus. They are sheltering and being told the shelter for the tornado, so that's good. As expected, they already have protocols in place. We've seen a lightning jump out of this as well. That can be a sign of an intensifying circulation. But this is now in effect until, I believe it was, what, 7:45. 7:45 for northeast Montgomery County into southwest Craig County. Storm relative velocity shows an even tighter circulation. If you take out the actual wind from this, you can the actual movement, you can look at the winds within the storm. So our circulation is right in here, just to the northeast of Business 460, just to the northeast of BLACKSBURG. So this is going to move into a more rural area here, but we can still show you that the wind has been changing within these pixels. You'll see little brighter spots in red pop up there, and if you go back a little further, I'm sure it looks a little more impressive. You can definitely pick out something. So I've got dual panels up. I'm looking at two different things, but there's our debris ball that we had. And sometimes you can go up here and you can actually pick out debris on the different radar products. So now moving north of BLACKSBURG, if you live in Christiansburg now, Merrimack, you were out of the warning for right now, but this is still a very tight circulation. It's enough to prompt the tornado warning in effect for northeast Montgomery County. Here comes a new scan in. Let me show you the updated polygon. And then what I like to do is turn the radar off and then back on just so you can see the polygon. So that includes Route 42 and right up to 311 coming out of Roanoke County. It butts right up against northwest Roanoke County. It's going to pass just outside of Roanoke County, though, into Craig County. And yeah, it's a mountainous area, but when you've got enough shear, you can get tornadoes in a situation like this. So now I'm going to turn the radar data back on. You'll see a very impressive hook echo show up when this loads here. But you need to be sheltering in that area. There's your hook echo, just moved out of BLACKSBURG. Still a well-defined supercell. This is the region where the spin is going on. You've got the, let's see, draw this in white so it pops up better. But you've got an inflow notch right here. That's the inflow notch that's coming around the circulation into the storm and up. Then on the back side, you've got what's called a rear flank downdraft. That's coming down the clear part of the storm. It's kind of a clearing line that wraps in behind it. When those two meet is where you can see the mesocyclone develop, and then once you tighten that a little bit with some convergence or an existing boundary, that's where you can get the actual tornado. So I would draw the tornado here just to the north of BLACKSBURG, and it's moving on a vector that kind of puts it going into the rest of rural Montgomery County. Some very rural areas there, but still probably a lot of mobile homes and a lot of places that may not have basements. So you want to get to a sturdy shelter and never try to get on the road and outrun these things. You know, if you have to, lie in a ditch if you can see this thing coming. Do not wait for it to come and wait till you see it. This has already been reported on the ground. We had video coming in. We've got a local spotter out in that area who showed video of it crossing or approaching Interstate 81 at exit 108, and then moving north from there. The radar actually picked up debris for a few minutes. It's still holding together in terms of a circulation, but I don't know if it's on the ground or not. I couldn't see anything in BLACKSBURG in terms of debris. I know that Virginia Tech had sheltered their students in place because they are back for the, of course, the fall semester. and it's passed very close by there. And I can tell you there's a lot of great meteorology students at Virginia Tech, a lot of great meteorologists at the National Weather Service in Blacksburg, and if there is something there, they're going to let us know as quickly as possible here on NWS Chat and on the other social media platforms. We all kind of follow each other there. So that's the silver lining of this, is that we don't have to guess much, because Blacksburg is loaded with meteorology people like myself, and people that are either, they're great spotters. They do a much better job than even I can do. I've got more experience at the desk, and a lot of these younger folks have more experience in the field. They go out chasing these things in the Oklahoma area in the Midwest every May, I believe. And so they know what they're doing, they know what they're looking at. So it's just radar indicated right now, but a tornado warning is still serious. I'm zooming out to kind of show you the overall picture. We've got some rain in the Roanoke Valley area, just some rain in Covington. That the strongest part of the storms right now are developing out of North Carolina, coming through the New River Valley into the Radford area. This is where we're seeing the most spin in the atmosphere. This is where the 850 millibar jet, the wind coming in at about 5,000 feet, is blowing in from the south, and that's where we're seeing the most enhanced spin. I can show you the Cape. This is something that was held down by cloud cover today. We were only in the lower 80s outside, but the moisture has increased. And so the moisture is offsetting the cooler temperatures. And the reason I say that is because the winds already are going to turn with height with any thunderstorm. But if you can't get the atmosphere to have a lot of Cape or energy, you're not going to get a tornado. Well, what happened in the past couple of hours, the Cape increased as the moisture increased, because Ida's bringing in that tropical moisture. So with temperatures actually steady or cooling, we bring in higher dew points. And it's that water in the air that actually can lead itself to form more tornadoes. And that's what creates a lot of our tornadoes here. High moisture content, low cloud bases, as you saw in that Twitter video from Justin just about 30 minutes ago. So let's go to, let's probe this. This is Cape up to about 2,850. And you can get tornadoes at only 1,000 Cape, and there you see it, about 1,100 Cape. Cape is thunderstorm fuel. Look out towards Lynchburg. We've got Capes up to about 3,000 here. Farmville, we've got Capes at about 3,000. What is Jamie talking about? This is the potential for the air to rise and to use that fuel. It's like having high octane fuel, just like what we have with a hurricane, except on a smaller level. So if you've got a thunderstorm that develops into that, or in this case, the past couple of warnings we've had have just been little tiny showers that have developed in a very quick amount of time, a matter of seconds. And then they just use that spin and they get it going out there. So there's your tornado warning. We'll continue to watch that, areas of heavier rain as well. While I've got a chance, I want to show you the environment that we're looking at. This is why we've been so concerned about tornadoes. I don't see any power outages either. That's usually something that happens. You'll get some flashes, some power flashes, and the fact that I don't have any right now to report may be a good sign out of the Blacksburg area, because that would show up almost instantly. You would see some power outages around that area. Let's go to the Storm Prediction Center page. And this is the Mesoanalysis. This updates every few minutes. But what this shows us is the center of Ida down here across south of Nashville. All right, so we'll take the radar off just so you can see the pure meteorological part of that. Looks like we've got a bit of a warm front too. So you want to watch these boundaries. So let me draw that in. Yeah, there's a warm front snaking right through here. Notice to the north of the warm front, you've got, it's not necessarily cooler air, but your winds are coming in out of the northeast. And then if you go off to the south here, you've got warmer winds that are coming in out of the out of the northeast and out of the southeast. So that in and of itself lends itself to some spin. You've got the main system still out here to the west that's going to move to the northeast tonight. Now, keep that in mind as I show you these other parameters. This is our supercell composite, the tendency for potential supercells to develop. And by the way, that's what we have in Montgomery County, is a supercell thunderstorm that's already produced a confirmed tornado and still a hook in place. Let me just quickly go back and forth here. So there it is. There's your hook. It's just about to approach you in Craig County, so be already in your safe place. You don't want to wait on this in Craig County. We still got a good area of green there combined with the red. That's indicating that tornado warning is in effect until 7:45. Getting a little more outflow dominant, it looks like. I'm going to look at a high-res radar picture here in just a second. But I want to go back. We need to study this too, because this shows that we've got higher values of potential spin over a good part of Virginia and a lot of heavy rain. Yes, this is right now. Somebody watching from Iowa too. Pray for us here in Virginia. We're getting some Iowa-like storms, supercells, and confirmed tornadoes. But supercell parameters up in the bold numbers here between 3 and 4. It's nothing to take lightly. So I'm looking for our low-level shear, and you can see it is off the charts. This is some very impressive shear in eastern Tennessee and Kentucky. This is because of that 850 millibar jet at 5,000 feet that's coming in, and it's enhancing these values. So as this continues to move north and east tonight, our values of potential spin are going to be elevated. And so that's why we're seeing on the front edge of that, notice that we've had, if you've been paying attention, we've had the one warning in Carroll County and the one warning, I'm not sure, it could have been the same cell in the NRV. And everything's kind of moving to the northeast. So right on the front edge of this spin, or this area of enhanced wind just off the ground, that's providing a lot of updraft ability to kind of encounter what we need to get a potential tornado and some spin there. Our significant tornado parameter is pretty low, but relatively speaking, it can still be something to watch. So you want to watch any value over 0. And that includes Roanoke and Lynchburg and most of the area, even in the mountainous areas, and even I would even watch the Allegheny Highlands. A couple of reports we'll read for you here. Let's see, let me go back to Supercell Composite. Got a local storm report from the National Weather Service, so glad they're okay. But they are reporting, they're about right there at the start of this, they have reported that they did see a funnel cloud at 7:05. So at 6:40, we had the organizing tornado here near I-81 in the field. Then we had the funnel cloud in Blacksburg, so it did lift enough to where it wasn't quite on the ground, and our radar did show us that we didn't have the debris in the air anymore, but we did have a brief amount of debris when it got near Merrimack. Then it lifted as it went into Blacksburg. By the grace of God, it did not hit Blacksburg. It looked like it was just over the horizon, but enough for the funnel cloud, and they may be posting a pic of that soon. Still wrapped up very good here, and the circulation though is weakened a bit. Now it is further from the radar screen, so it's a little bit harder to see. But I don't see any debris on the correlation coefficient. I still see a very strong updraft, and storm relative winds are still there enough to where I do see the circulation. So they may let this go away. And now we've got that report plotted as an icon there. May see this tornado warning go away at the expiration time, which is still in effect until 7:45. It was located near Huffman or near Blacksburg, moving northeast at 20 miles per hour. So Sinking Creek, Huffman, Maggie, Simmonsville, and Abbott still take cover now and avoid windows. Get into a bathroom, put something over your head like a pillow, get into the bathtub and put those pillows over your head. If you got a football helmet, or something laying around that's hard for your head, put it over, wear it, and just hope for the best. Hunker down and wait a few minutes for this thing to pass. I'll give you the all clear when we do get it. That'll be coming up here, what time? About 17 minutes or so. So you can follow the track of this. Let's move it over here. You can see Here's where we had it. Let me go back to that video. This was the situation in an area of the country where people used to say we never got tornadoes, and this is a organizing tornado on the ground or approaching the ground. It's either a funnel cloud or multi-vortex tornado getting organized here. And my computer's going to have a little bit of hard time playing it because I'm streaming and doing so many things at the same time on it with the radar data coming in. But these were two areas of spin that are circling each other. And this actually crossed Interstate 81 at exit 108. I believe that's what they said. This was not now. This was about 6:40. Read that back. And it was interesting because at 6:25 we had a different spotter say that they reported a rotating wall cloud near Childress, near Radford. This was just outside of Radford. So we actually had a funnel cloud. They could see the funnel a few minutes before this spotter. So we got, like I say, several meteorology students and chasers that are pretty good at what they do. They got a good program, meteorology program at Virginia Tech that saw this. No damage. May have, sometimes debris is just dirt being picked up or leaves off trees or whatever, but there's his name, Justin Bakinski. I'm probably not saying it right, but I retweeted that out for you. And every meteorologist in the area has retweeted that because that's some incredible video, and you can see how the cloud continues to lower and get closer to the ground. The BLACKSBURG right on it, and they put out the tornado warning and got that out. So now we continue to track this hook echo. It doesn't look nearly as impressive as it did. There's your good news. The bad news is our conditions will be going downhill throughout the rest of tonight. So if you are watching this stream on a replay, go ahead and turn it off and check my page out and my Twitter feed especially and see what the latest statements are, because this happens a lot on social media. People see it and they watch it because it says tornado warning, but you need to pay attention to the time. If it's past the expiration time, it's no longer valid, and this video will be circulating for some time to come. That's one of the downfalls of Facebook, one of a few. But you can see here, right there, it wrapped up near I-81. That's the line there where you see that icon. Boom, right there. It really tightened here. Let's go back. So this was at about 6:20, 6:18. 6:18, you can start to see the hook develop south of Radford. Now, we'll advance this and go to 6:23. And then at 6:25, you can see the circulation right here. That was the circulation. From Radford, we had a storm report of a rotating funnel cloud in that area. And that came across Twitter. It was it came across chat here, Weather Service chat, unconfirmed. You know, you're always a bit hesitant sometimes when you hear something like that. Then about 6 minutes later, the video came in that showed those that funnel cloud becoming a multi-vortex circulation. And actually, if you look at an actual tornado in relevance to a radar pixel, it's just the mesocyclone you're seeing. So the actual tornado was probably, at the time, organizing within this red area here. That was 114. It was about to cross as it came northwest of Reiner and southeast of Radford. Luckily, it missed Radford just by a little bit. Then you see they put out the warning. This was at 6:39. So this isn't current data, but I'm showing you the storm's history. Really tightened up as it crossed 81. Looks like it cycled, became outflow dominant a little bit, and then it tightened right back up again as it neared Merrimack in Montgomery County. That was prior to about 6:50, 6:55. And then it neared Merrimack. We were tracking it. We've been tracking it for you here the whole time. Pretty tight, pretty high wind there too. You see the reds there becoming orange Very distinct hook. Now, as it moved over Blacksburg, that's when the employee reported the funnel cloud. They could see the funnel cloud, so this was still in the air, but wasn't on the ground. Then the new warning was issued. Notice it's red and not pink because it was not on the ground at that time. At that point, it was just radar indicated with a history of being on the ground. And you can see it's continuing to kind of get choked off here. I do no longer see a tight circulation, but within this area, there's a weak circulation being picked up there on the radar. And it shows up better if you take out the storm motion. We've got a new special weather statement, a couple of those that are coming in here as well. Let's see if I can get my advisories on. Floyd County, North Central Patrick, and Southeastern Montgomery County until 8. This is for this cell. Kind of a line here. I don't see anything but straight line winds with this. This is coming out of Hillsville into Floyd, Vesta, Woolwine, moving to the northeast at about 15 to 20 through 8 o'clock. There'll be some gusty winds in that one as well. Still got some lightning showing up, loft in the cloud and possibly cloud the ground, going into the Craig County area out of Montgomery County. This is the latest image here. I keep looking down at Floyd to make sure nothing's spinning up here. It's like we got a little bit of something there, and it's not very strong, but in that same corridor. Watching that carefully. This warning looks like they're going to let it go, perhaps. Haven't seen anything on chat about that. So Craig County, just hunker down here. You already need to be in your safe spot. Blacksburg, you got very lucky there. Now, the bad news is I see two other areas almost at the same spot we had that local storm report. I see a very small area of circulation once again in between Radford and Reiner. This is not the original potential tornado, but this is another area of rotation that has set up east of Radford. I mentioned how we continue to see these winds that are producing a lot of shear, and that is indeed what's going on. So these seemingly innocent showers are starting to spin, and even in the past couple of minutes since I've been on, this was all straight, it was all green on one side, and then as it moves closer into Floyd County, we start to see some notches develop in there of red too, particularly. So the radar's here, so that's more than likely just convergence coming out ahead of that. That's good. But there's some broad rotation on and starting to hook into that line there. So we've got some special weather statements coming out for Floyd County and Patrick County as well. I'm not sure why they're not popping up on my Gibson Ridge. Let me put my panels on here and see. Give me a second here. Make sure my polling's correct here. We're gonna go configure that. It's coming from Allison House. Thought I had saved. Here's a faster server I think I need to get put on here. There's our, I've also got a wind advisory there and a flash flood watch out for most of the area too. Still continuing this tornado warning though in northern Montgomery County. It's about to exit Montgomery County until 7:45, so for another 8 minutes or so. Still some rotation here. There's just not a lot of it. It looks like it's lifted quite a bit. So that's probably okay. Probably not on the ground. I don't see anything that really concerns me. Those are mountain ridges being picked up on the radar scans here. I see more just straight line winds kind of becoming more outflow dominant. In other words, what's happened is on that cell within the polygon is the cooler air of the downdraft part of the storm has taken over. It's choked off the inflow. However, got a couple other places I'm watching there, right where the first one was, and also near Parrott we've got some broad rotation. We've got now a tornado watch for most of the area until 3 o'clock. Breaking news, a tornado watch is now in effect for the area until 3 a.m. for the entire or most of the area, it looks like. Got a funnel cloud reported at 6:30 near Merrimack. These storm reports are going to continue to come in. Let me try to show you the new tornado watch graphic. So here's the tornado watch. This whole area now, what does a watch mean? Well, a tornado watch means conditions are turning favorable for tornadoes. The Storm Prediction Center is looking at the same thing we're looking at, and they're saying, hey, this part of Virginia, things could get kind of rough through 3 o'clock in the morning. So the tornado watch means you need to be prepared to take action if a warning is issued, like it is in Craig County for right now, but I feel like that one's going to go away here very soon. But there will probably be more tornado warnings in this activity as it comes out of North Carolina. And count it as the real thing. This was the real thing for a few minutes anyway in Montgomery County. This was the real thing. We had funnel clouds reported. We had debris picked up for a short time in Montgomery County. It's now kind of leveled off a little bit. It's approaching Craig County. Still just radar indicated here, but you can still see a hook echo, so I can't discount the fact that we may have something spin back up here in that area. It may be tightening back up again, folks. Let's see. It's hard to say. It's definitely trying to do something. It looks like it's more or less convergence, but it may be cycling into something new. That's kind of an interesting inflow notch there. It's actually showing up as outflow here. This may actually turn more into a straight line wind event. We'll have to see. And notice I still have some kinks in the line here coming out of Floyd County. Some lightning too. That can be a sign of a developing updraft. Watching that for you very carefully. I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to change my polling data, and I'm also watching a few areas of interest in eastern Craig County. Basically, the entire area needs to watch out for potential tornadoes, and I will be here all night tonight into Wednesday. And yeah, I'm going to be tired, but you can watch me on TikTok and YouTube, and the alerts will come out on my Twitter page. Let me just show you that real fast. As we look at the latest radar image there, you can barely see something near Route 42 in Craig County, so be taking your precautions there. But this is my Twitter page. Let me show you how I've got it set up. So you can go to my profile, and there'll be a little alarm bell you can hit. But when I go live, you'll get a tweet like this. You can click on it and you can see it. In addition to the things that I retweet, like the video, you will be able to see warnings that come out and updates for warnings. That came off of the Iowa State server. There's a fellow that makes this free of charge, and I'm able to retweet that the second it comes out. I also pay money for these alerts here. The Montgomery County alert that we had in place, that was from Simple Weather Alert, and the details of that will also auto-tweet out automatically. So if you want, the tornado warning is now expired, so we figured that was going to happen both for Craig County, so no warnings in effect just yet. But if you want up to the second alerts, go to my page on Twitter and give me a follow, and you can even turn the alarm on, and it'll alert you to all of these warnings. You can see as they were coming out, this is from Ready Warn. This is kind of a simple text that comes out, but I'm also I've got it where it shows the polygon and the radar picture, and I could be on the air, I could be outside, I could be taking a bathroom break, and it would still do it automatically. So that's the good thing about my Twitter page. I encourage people to do that. And then, of course, even the special weather statements come out through this. So I've got 4 ways of showing you. This was in Carroll County earlier. Cloud lowering there. Looks like a wall cloud developing there. Never a warning was issued for that. And you can see it had a bit of a hook on it and some rotation. That was earlier though. So go to my Twitter and make sure you give me a follow if you want up to the second information. And speaking of that, I just told you that tornado warning had expired while we were talking 58 seconds ago. That came across my Twitter feed. And what also has come out is the new tornado watch that's in effect. You can go to my Twitter feed and click on the Simple Weather Alert link, and you will see the actual text of that. We can read it together. It's Floyd County, Franklin County, Giles, Halifax, Bath, Appomattox, Amherst, Allegheny, Stokes, Rockingham, all of the Blacksburg area until 3 o'clock a.m. for the potential for tornadoes. Now, if you go to the Storm Prediction Center page, I'll show you this graphically. This is from Ida. Again, these tropical related systems, if you go back and look at the history of tornadoes here, we've got 2 different major areas that produce, or setups that produce tornadoes here. One of them is in the springtime, especially when you get these cool air wedges that butt up against an upcoming storm system. That will produce a tornado a lot of times around here. And we've also got tropical systems that do it. So there's the tornado watch. You can look at the counties. You can see that area includes Lynchburg and includes Southside, Danville. Doesn't technically, yeah, it does. Doesn't get into Mecklenburg County, but this is pretty much the Blacksburg entire area. Don't think it includes Wythe County. That goes into effect for Pulaski County. But in and around the tornado watch, okay, is areas that we're looking at here. And included in the text here, I think they mention, I'm not going to mention anything just yet, but they'll have something else out that will mention the wind potential and what they're looking at. Let's see. The tornado potential has been there today, and it will continue tomorrow. If you go to the convective outlook here, you can see they've enhanced it between 2 and 5% of a tornado. This is through the night tonight. And so if you're watching down across the South Carolina, North Carolina area, you also have a chance of tornadoes tonight. And then if you look at tomorrow, the tornado potential jumps up to 5% across the area, especially along and east of the mountains. Now, you say, Jamie, 5% is not that big a deal. Well, consider the fact that a tornado is like a needle in a haystack. So anything above 2% is very significant for our area. 5% gets really significant. And so that is something, that I'm going to be watching, and I'll probably tweet this out too, put that on my Facebook as well. But I need to get some stuff out about the tornado watch. No warnings in effect at the moment, but there will probably be more, to be honest with you. There's going to be some more tonight, more than likely. We've got a boundary in place right here. We've got winds coming in out of the southeast at the surface, and aloft they're coming in out of the southwest. They're crossing like that. We've got updrafts. We've got all kinds of things going on. So we're going to have an active night tonight. Make sure you have multiple ways of getting warnings. I've got all the safety features, the safety highlights, what you need to be doing ahead of all this on my Facebook page as well. We're going to sign off for right now, but we'll be back. I'll jump back on here if we get any more tornado warnings, and we probably will. So have multiple ways of getting warnings. One more thing I'll mention, when you see me go live or you see a warning come out from any station, if you have somebody that you know that's in that area, social scientists study this stuff, and they've determined that if you actually, the best source of information for a lot of people is getting a text from their mom or from your daughter or son or niece or nephew or whatever, or a friend. Hey, you're under a tornado warning, get to shelter right now. People take that more seriously than they do the crawls on television and the updates that I do on Facebook. So they call that being a hero. It was started by the campaign by the National Weather Service in Mobile, Alabama. but they're calling that the hero campaign. You can be a hero and put these updates out with me. Just make sure you got the information right. But when you send that out and put it out on your Facebook too, it helps us all. So when you share it out, or even if you just do a simple Facebook message to your friends and family in that area, you speak with them directly, or just a phone call, it makes a difference. And of course, if you're in the area too, seek shelter for your own safety, and then do that first, and then notify your friends and family.